and good evening to you from wherever you are joining us. It is Mayegun Live, and of course, there are so many, there are so many things that will not look same. In fact, everything probably doesn't even look same. But listen, brethren, remember that all you have to do at first is, after reading the caption of the broadcast, read the description of the broadcast as well. Like it, share it, invite your friends, invite your not so friendly friends. Tell them that Mayegun is live, even though I am live in America, not in our own studio as usual. But the gist can still happen just anywhere. So I'm going to implore us to kindly just manage the picture in case if the picture is not as great, but I bet it is also not as poor as it can be. So thank you so much for joining me from wherever you are tuning in from. I tried to meet up with the time difference, by the way, and I hope that I'm able to keep up with that. Indeed. So from the writer of this broadcast, where the Nigerian Service Chiefs, CDS, Chief of Defense Staff, as well as the contingent of the Nigerian Army. Some were granted their visa, others were denied the Canadian visa. I bet you probably have been following that, have you? It is grand. So, one moment. So if you have been following that, mine is to possibly give you idea of what really went wrong. Normally, Canada shouldn't have even granted them any of them visa. Do you know why they are going to Canada? Anybody who has a clue? Do you have a clue of why they are going to Canada? It's crazy if I tell you why. Nigerian Army, and then their service chiefs, they were going to Canada to celebrate the Nigerian soldiers injured fighting terrorists in Nigeria. I mean, that is why they are going to Canada. These guys applied for Canadian visa. Some soldiers, some of their contingent, then the service chiefs, they were going to Canada to go and celebrate the injured soldiers in Nigeria. The soldiers that they are not paying well, soldiers they are paying 50,000, 60,000 naira minimum wage. There is no real better welfare or what have you for these soldiers. No. These guys were going to Canada to go and participate in a celebration put together by this agency or what have you, right? And they want to go and do Nigeria Soldiers Remembrance and celebrate them in Canada. And they were going to actually spend hundreds of millions of naira. So they then got denied. Not all of them. Some of them actually got their own visas approved. But you see all those senior officers like the service chief, the service chiefs like these CDS, Musa, and others, they got theirs denied. And that has triggered an endless raging, ranting from the Tifnumbu's illegitimate regime in Abuja, starting with Ribadombu. It was actually the Ribadom that got really mad. Musa himself said, well, maybe it's a blessing in disguise. Like, he didn't have to go anyway, but I'll stay in Nigeria and celebrate the soldiers here. But Ribadom and that thief, Olubunmi Ojo, they have been all over the media, threatening the Canadian embassy. This is embarrassing. How could you deny us visa? This is an embarrassment to Nigeria. This is an insult. In fact, you guys have been looking down on us. You, these foreign countries, you have been looking down on us. You have been treating us with like a piece of shit and all of that stuff. That you want to go to Canada to spend millions of your Nigerian money to go and celebrate the underpaid, poorly paid Nigerian soldiers in Canada. That's ridiculous on its own. But people have been trying to dig into why were they denied. There is this report of, it is of international value, by the way, that the Nigerian army, they have been carrying out extrajudicial killings in the eastern part of Nigeria. True story. You see all these things that we share on this platform, right? There are mostly information that are already available out there. But some of you are not really interested in details, so you probably never really see them as anything until issue like this pops up and you are like wondering why, what happened, Nigerian army has been secretly killing innocent people in the eastern part of Nigeria and the southern part of Nigeria on record. Similarly, the Nigerian police, they also have a very terrible record when it comes to some of these foreign countries. See, you have, I think it was last week or last 2 weeks, thereabouts. I think it's about like 9 days ago. There was also a report where a contingent of Nigerian policemen, they wanted to go to Canada. Okay, Canada, Isha. They wanted to go to Canada, right? And they were denied visa too. This one was pretty much clear. They said Nigerian police has the reputation for corruption as well as human rights abuses. And there is no point in bringing them to Canada. That's what they said. They denied them. Even though on this particular one, or this CDS, Musa and others, in their own right, they did not categorically state that it is because of the human rights abuses associated with these guys. But that's a true story. In Nigeria, they have been telling you that the innocent people that they are harassing and even killing in eastern part of Nigeria, they are IPOB members. You have been hearing that, right? But the truth of the matter is that established fact shows that, you see, majority of those they have brutalized, illegally imprisoned in eastern part of Nigeria, these are like ordinary common people who have nothing to do with any act of criminality, but because to cover their track and the continuation of, the ethnic cleansing, which some of you love to deny, by the way. You do love to deny. Nigeria is a place where people they won't believe something is really happening except when it happens to them. Do you get that now? As we say not even like, I think it's an African proverb, right? That says that when you carry somebody else's corpse, it just feels like a log of wood. But when you carry somebody you love, your own loved ones, like the corpse of your loved one, it becomes so heavy, like you are pretty much like carrying a sack of wool. That's exactly what it is to some of our people in Nigeria. When people are targeted by the criminal rogue government and their agents in Nigeria, people will be asking you, well, what did you do? What did they do? So the act of saying, oh, you have a democracy and therefore everybody's right is enshrined in your democratic whatever nonsense, right? It's just in the figment of your own imagination. So this brutality, these human rights abuses, all these extrajudicial killings and what have you, right? Once in a while, you see, these foreign embassies do kind of like act on them. But Canadian embassy says they are not going to tell us why they denied them this. So in one of their reactions, right? I think I even have I have a clip of Musa, and I think that was Musa reacting to it. Let me show you.
There's an event to honor our veterans, those that were injured during battle. Remember last year, the Duke of Sussex visited Nigeria with his wife. Through the Invictus, they have a foundation that they try to raise the morale of troops all over the world that have suffered one form of deformity or the other in the course of defending their individual countries. So we're supposed to be there. And actually, half of my team have already gone, but unfortunately, the Canadian Embassy, for knowledge best known to them, denied us visa. So I wasn't sure, and so I wanted to be silent about it. But when we couldn't get the visa, I said, this is blessing in disguise. So I'm really very happy to be here. And I think this is just a clear reminder to us that we're on our own, that we need to stand strong as a nation so that nobody takes us for granted. You could imagine we were invited for the event with our team. Our team, half have gone, half have been denied. So the competition is ongoing with half players there and half back here. You know, it's really very disappointing. But we thank God for everything. So it is with great honor and a deep sense of responsibility that I stand before you to give the opening remarks as chairman for this historic maiden annual lecture of the Alumni Association of the National Institute for Security Studies. Let me begin by commending the leadership and members of the Alumni Association for organizing this event, which serves as a platform for critical discourse on issues of national and global security. The National Institute for Security Studies has over the years established itself as a citadel of excellence in the training and development of security professionals. Its alumni, many of whom are here today, have gone to make significant contributions to the security architecture of Nigeria and beyond. This gathering, therefore, is not only a celebration of the Institute's legacy, but also a testament to the enduring relevance of its mission in an ever-evolving security landscape. Events like this also create valuable opportunities for key stakeholders to exchange ideas and insights that are essential for enhancing our national security and development. The theme of today's lecture, which is mobilizing stakeholders to curb insecurity in Nigeria, a practical approach, is both timely and critical. In a world increasingly defined by complex and asymmetric threats, the need for innovative thinking, collaboration, and proactive strategies has never been more urgent than now. From terrorism and cybercrime to transnational organized crime and climate-induced conflicts, the challenges we face are multifaceted and demand a holistic approach. As security professionals, we must continually adapt to these dynamics, leveraging technology, intelligence, and partnership to stay ahead of our adversaries. This lecture, therefore, provides an opportunity to reflect on these issues, share insights, and chart a path forward for sustainable peace and security. It also highlights the importance of a comprehensive, all-encompassing government, whole of government, and whole of society approach to addressing insecurity, as there is no individual, no organization can do it alone. The challenges we're facing is a Nigerian challenge, and all Nigerians must come on deck to ensure that we tackle this insecurity. I'm therefore optimistic that this forum will delve into actionable strategies for mobilizing and collaboration, stressing the significance for practical collective action and shared responsibility. The Alumni Association of the National Institute for Security Studies has a unique role to play in shaping the future of security in Nigeria. As a network of seasoned professionals, you possess the knowledge, experience, and influence to drive meaningful change. I therefore urge you to use this platform not only to exchange ideas, but also to foster collaboration across agencies and institutions. Together we can build a safer and more secure Nigeria. Let me conclude by challenging all of us to rise to the occasion. The security of our nation is a collective responsibility, and each of us has a role to play. As we deliberate today, let us remember that the solution we seek must be practical, inclusive, and sustainable. Let us also remember the sacrifices of those who have paid the ultimate price in the line of duty, and let their memory inspire us to redouble our efforts. Finally, I would like to appreciate our special guest of honor, National Security Advisor, who has given us a wonderful platform for us to work together in unity. We say thank you, sir. Your commitment and almost dedication to this, despite your busy schedule, is always good. We say very good, thank you, very well, sir. I also appreciate all heads of agencies, invited guests for gracing this occasion. Once again, I congratulate our chief host, the Director General of the Department of State Security, Oluwatosin Ajayi MON, and the Alumni Association on this milestone. And
that's enough. So then you get to hear about the Ribadom's reaction. His own reaction makes it more kind of like they'll say, a pain. You know, when something happens, they say, a pain. Say, no pain me. He no pain me at all. Why paying you? Talk true. To Ribadom, it was like they can go to hell, something like that. Like, go to hell with your visa. The world will not respect you, okay? Simply because you have this bigger population, as some of them will kind of like brag. The world will not respect you if you go about, treating your people, your citizens, like a piece of shit, right? The world will not respect you if you go all over the place with a bowl in your hand, like beggy. With the APC, Nigeria is living on what is called the old glory. And the more APC is in charge of that contraption, the more whatever glory that Nigeria ever enjoyed, the more it will be eroded. So to Ribadom, it is an insult to not give visa to the chief of defense staff or chief of defense staff of Nigeria, and guess is usage of what? You go to hell. Listen to the animal.
Thank you for the courage to say that Canada denied you. They can go to hell. Even though it's painful, it's disrespectful, but we are people. We are strong. And I agree with you. We have to fix our country. We have to do it well. Yes, this disrespect is too much. So, yet is another reason why we work hard to make Nigeria work and be respected. Thank you for the courage to say that Canada.
Nuisance Lele. Nuisance Lele.
Papa nuisance. Ribadom is a criminal. I just want to be very clear on that, okay? So to every one of us watching this broadcast right now, I want you to take it in and know that Ribadom is a criminal. And don't act shocked. He is also a career criminal. And that is why he is very much useful to Tifnumbu, the Jaga bandits, the Jaga addicts, the Ashiwaju Enyole, Ashiwaju Enyagbero. That is why I found him pretty much easier. Is as corrupt. I don't know, maybe saying it again like is what some of you need. Because I think there are those who believe that because Ribadom was once it was the first EFCC chair that investigated so many state governors, including this Tifnumbu and others. And then he became, he went back on to go and bend the knee and also kiss the ring. And he became the presidential candidate for Tifnumbu's party in 2011. And since then, he has been trying to convince Tifnumbu that, Oga, you can trust me. And today he is the national security advisor to Kolu. But that is not the news. The news is that, how many of you remember the Binance debacle when Tifnumbu, Wale Idun, and the rest of the rogues in his illegitimate government, when they devalued Nigerian Naira because of IMF loan, remember? They call it floating of the Naira, removal of the fuel subsidy, and then the nosedive or the downturn of the Nigeria economy, like Bukwari did in 2017 with Emefiele. When Emefiele blamed the Naira losing its value on the trees in a particular area in Abuja. How many of you remember that? Well, Nigeria is not a real place.